talk about the new siding products, this new concrete siding. And everybody does the corner boards because that's the easiest way to install this stuff. There's other ways that we're doing now. It's a little bit more time consuming, but it gives it a really nice look on the finished product. This is the way we're doing it now. We'll take these corners, and we don't miter the corners. What we do is we just butt joint the corners. You can see the edge of it, but we've done such a good job on cleaning them up. Well, I should say the painters have done such a good job of cleaning up the corners. You really can't even tell that they are mitered. And the nice thing about it is it gives it a nice clean look. But it is a little bit more time consuming and a little more expensive to install this way. Each corner on a house takes about a day longer. So if you have 4 corners, it's going to take you about 4 extra days for someone to install. It just depends on what you're looking for. Now, we did this when it was not real cold and not real hot. I think the temperature was around 70 degrees. And this is our, we've filled in our joints, and then we've given them one light sand over the top of it. And we'll have to do it one more time, and we'll use the same product. And the same with the corners. So you can see, here's one. We have to come back and redo everything, but this is about the right amount of gap that we leave in there so that we can fill up that corner full of this special caulking. So as this stuff swells and shrinks, it'll either push or shrink the caulking that's in there on the corner. Now, we still do the same trim around doors and stuff. That hasn't changed. But I want to show you the other side over here, because normally what you do when you do a corner, you have to turn the corner, because you can't just do all one side. You've got to do, you have to do each individual. Like if you do the side over there up to a certain point, well, then you've got to do this. Of course, here we lucked out. We could do up to the top of the door. But when you have long sides like we did over here, you see what we had to do. We had to stagger our joints so we could get a lot of joints in, because we had a front and a back to do. And the reason we had to do this is because we'd have to finish one complete side and one complete back. It is time consuming to do it this way, but it does work very well. It does come up with nice corners. Here again, you can see some of the corners, how wide they are. Get a better look. We haven't even begun to finish these yet. The ones we have over here, the ones we've done here have been here for 4 years. And being that this is Texas, we've got some extremely high heat, which it usually gets up to 100, and last year got up to 108. And here's a good example of what happens when this stuff heats up. You can see how this stuff is swelled. That's because of the 1/8 inch gap, and then you fill it full of this special caulking. But if you remember, and then if you come back over here, this is on the cool side of it, because it's about 70 degrees. That side over there is probably around 90. This is 70 degrees. You can see how this is shrunk in, but when this heats up, this will swell like that did over there. So this stuff is constantly swelling and shrinking. So that keeps the end corners from blowing out, or I should say breaking, because if you got them too tight, they'll break. So you try to keep everything back a little bit, give it a little space. Now here's the same thing on 7 inch. Over there, what I just showed you was 4.5 inch. This is 7 inch here, and it's exactly the same thing. But what's going to bother me about this one is these are full lengths with no joints, and so this is just going to be a kind of a test building to see how this is going to hold up, to see if it's going to blow the corners out. But being such big corners, I think it's going to work out fine. But in case it doesn't, I'll post another video on what we had to do to fix it.